Good evening. Welcome to Talking Reds. I want to start this tonight with an apology for deciding to do a stream on Monday night. I had the stream set out all day for I think 7:15. I think it was 8:15. I think I had it set out for. We saw the events happen maybe like an hour early before I started the stream. And within that hour and within that half an hour of deciding, do I do the stream or not? I was thinking, how do I address this? How do I address this situation? How do I address what's happened? Anyone that watched the stream on Monday will see that I was clearly upset about the situation. I was clearly upset about addressing it, and it wasn't intentional to go on the stream or anything like that. I should have pulled out the stream. I shouldn't have done the stream on Monday night. But yeah, it was a very hard moment, obviously, to address, and I hope everyone saw that, and I hope I addressed it correctly on Monday for everyone that did come on the stream. I thank everyone that did come on the stream to share their love and share their thoughts with what happened on Monday as well in Liverpool. And I'm just also happy that people are on the road to recovery, and it's I do share all my thoughts and feelings with those, and I said that on Monday as well. But yeah, I just want to apologise for doing that stream. I think if I was in the right mindset in that moment, I would have decided not to do the stream. But yeah, I spoke to Naj after it, and you could tell how beat up I was. I've been beating myself up all week for it. But yeah, I do apologise for having that stream. I've not done a stream for the last 2 nights, hence why I've had a couple of days off away from it and back with you guys tonight. So hopefully I'll bring you some good news tonight on Florian Wirtz, good news on other things as well. Thank you everyone for joining me live. Thank you everyone that has subscribed. Thank you everyone that has watched before. But yeah, like I said, I apologise for Monday. Naz, you went to the parade on Monday. Badly obvious, it was a good parade, wasn't it? Before what happened.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I mean, I was well, I mean, I was on a live stream as well, coming out of the parade on my bike, and I obviously only heard about the news myself as I was halfway through doing my live as well on TikTok. And I was in a pretty similar situation to you. Obviously, I was probably a bit more on because it was real time happening. I kept my I kept my live open just for pure helping people and stuff like that. And I think, obviously you phoned me, didn't you, halfway through it, and I sort of kept it going because, of any of my mates seeing it, because obviously I was worried about them, family and stuff like that as well. You know what was really good though, I did say, a lot of people did come on to my live stream, and I believe there's people on yours as well, that were trying to help people out and see what we could do. And I think that's the bottom line. I think that's what people were doing, and I think that was a positive thing of it, and going forward as well now, I feel there's still people in hospital, but the people haven't lost their lives, which is and I know there's going to be possibility of life-changing injuries and stuff like that. Not great, but we're thankful that people haven't lost their lives. But yeah, try and put a bit of a brighter mood on it. It was good. It was good. I think it was very daunting though, I'll say that. 2019, I was there 2019. I did live in town at that point, so it was a little bit easier for me. So I lived just off Islington, so I just went straight to Islington, and then I run through, went to the Strand. This year, I couldn't really gauge where to go. It was just so many people. I mean, there was a million last time.
1.5 million has been total, yeah.
I feel like last time there was probably about, I don't know, let's say 700, 600,000 on the Strand. I reckon there was 1 million people on the Strand or in town the other day. That's how busy it was. So I sort of went from near the Baltic. I was up near there, so right where the coaches end. And to be honest, it was great, but I was nowhere near the coach. I was absolutely nowhere near it. I mean, I had a bit of a cock up as well. I had to keep going back because my phone kept running out of charge. I wanted to live stream as well. I'd only got one picture really, one video. I haven't put anything up for respect. That I sort of didn't want to do that anyway. But the day was great. I mean, it was just it was just crazy. I do think next time there should be a little bit of I don't know, a bit better planned, I would say, on the behalf of the council, probably. Well, I think they probably admit that themselves. It was just very chaotic. I mean, there was the Radio 1 Big Weekender as well. There was a lot of people, and it was a very busy thing, but the parade was brilliant. I think it was just, it was, I've never, I mean, 2019, I've never witnessed like anything like that in my life. And that the other day was just, wow. Wild. It was wild.
I do want to end on a positive note in terms of that is how Liverpool came together and how football came together on Monday night as well, and how the people from Liverpool were offering lifts, they were offering houses, they were offering beds to stay for people that were stranded in Liverpool. I thought it was absolutely beautiful to see, and how football brings everyone together, and how humanity. I had a lot of faith in stardom humanity on Monday night, everyone coming together, and for that, and I praise everyone that did that, because that is absolutely incredible to open your doors to strangers. And I thought it was just a moment of just kindness and humanity for just, and this is why Liverpool gets regarded as such a kind city and such a beautiful city, because of its people, and that's exactly what happened at the end of that. So yeah, it did end, and hopefully all the people that are injured do physically return as quick as they can and fully as they can as well, and also the people forget, people that watched it and witnessed it, the trauma that they may suffer from that. Hopefully, mentally, they will recover from that as well and get the help they can get as well. So, we'll start into the news tonight. Obviously, people asking for the news as well. Paula Mint saying, "Hi, Dave, and I went to the airport in Liverpool. A few jets in there today. Did you see any players or anything, Paula?" And Smooth Operator said, "Boys, what's the news on Kerkez and Wirtz?" So, in the recent hour, there has been a report coming out on Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz is on the verge of a move to Liverpool. Negotiations are ongoing. Liverpool have the hopes to clarity before the Nations League. Which is next Wednesday. We're hoping to get it done before the Nations League in terms of if he's definitely coming or not. According to Pippo Ahrens, I think he works for the Sport Bild, which is a German outlet. Yep. Florian Wirtz will play in the Premier League next season for Liverpool FC, he said, and he's about to make his mega move to LFC coming in the coming days. So it's looking very, very positive on Florian Wirtz. It's been not looking incredibly positive over the last couple of days, I've got to be honest on Naj. It has been like we're lowballing again with the money. The initial fee was like 100 plus add-ons. But Bayer Leverkusen are still holding out for about 150 million euros, 150 million euros.
Yeah.
And rightly so. I said this the other day, like, rightly so. Like, this is their star player. This is their star player. They can put whatever price on they want. And it's up to us now to pay it. That is what's coming out. Luis Diaz, obviously close to Liverpool, has said that he's not worried. He does see Florian Wirtz as a Liverpool player next season. But this has always been the worry, though, hasn't it, Naj? It has been the worry in terms of the transfer fee. I've always said this, always been very consistent on this. We will always attract the best players, and getting the personal terms agreed. It's up to whether we get allowed to be paying the transfer fee or not by FSG. And they have shown a bit more ambition so far this season. I say that without signing really anyone yet, bar Frimpong, which was pretty much done. But they're looking to seem that they're more ambitious this season. Do you think we will get that done? It is looking positive. And again, like Spot Bill said there, the team is a Liverpool player in the next coming days, really.
I think it's done. I do think it's done. Like, I think in terms of like the player wants it, like, I think that's very well documented now and reported. I think it's Edwards, isn't it? Like, Edwards is the expert at getting deals done very well. Like, Thiago 4-year deal, 5 million a year, like stuff like that. Like, Thiago was, when we signed him, he was what did he win, the European Midfielder of the Year or something like that?
Yeah.
And like Wirtz now, like, I get it. Like, Wirtz, a bit of a different scenario with Thiago and Wirtz. Like, Thiago was sort of quite an injury-prone player, and he was, I think Thiago's value is in like the 25 games you get of him a season. He's going to be absolutely unbelievable. But you're only going to get 25 games if you're really fortunate. But and I think he had 1 year left in his contract as well, I believe, Thiago. So that's why the price was like that. But Liverpool still got $5 million a year for it, which was a very good deal at the time. I think that's sort of what will happen with Wirtz. Like, I think I don't question like it's not going to happen now. I think it'll happen. I just don't know when it's going to happen. I'd like to get it done pretty soon. I don't think there's going to be any backpedaling on the player. I think the player wants it. You know, obviously he's very close to Frimpong as well. That is done, isn't it? Frimpong is done. We know that. You know, what a double swoop that'll be to sign them to. I mean, fantastic. And I get it. Look, the reason why he's going to be so much is he is a Bayer Leverkusen star player, but he's not just Bayer Leverkusen star player. He's the Bundesliga star player. He's won Player of the Season 2 years on the bounce, and he didn't even win anything this season, and he still won it. And that just proves to everyone how good he is. I mean, Musiala is a pretty similar player to him, but I think Wirtz is just like well ahead of him now, and I think like coming to the Premier League is going to be massive, and I think obviously coming to Liverpool is going to be huge. I do think there's something underlying though with sort of how much it'll be. I think we're going to try and pay like 85 mil up front, and I think they're going to try and do something with that. This is why I think it's not like been done like that, because I think maybe like the add-ons or something like. I mean, like I've said to you in the past, though, I mean, we both agreed on this. Like, if you get Wirtz, it adds 20% better for you winning a trophy.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer. Florian Wirtz. If he costs 150 million euros, then so be it. Yeah, he's completely worth it.
And this is what we need to decide on now. Are we going to pay the fee or not? Because the reports are coming out that the initial offer was 100 million plus add-ons. That's what we reported last week with Mano. But Leverkusen want 150 million. Well, in between sort of 130 and 150 million, aiming for a fixed fee on that as well.
Mm.
Even if the sides were part of like 50 million apart in terms of negotiations. We said this actually a couple of weeks back, saying what would Liverpool's first offer be? It can't be that far off what they're asking for. And It does seem like it is a little bit far off, really. And then that again, this is why it's taking so long, and it is going to take so long. I've said this earlier. It is going to take so long. It's a big transfer fee for a big player. Leverkusen do want a player potentially part of the deal as well, so they've got to agree on what player we let go, and the player that we let go has got to agree to that deal as well. They're going to change their whole life. They've got to go to Germany. They asked for this, so it's it is a big deal to happen. So it is going to take some time, but. With the reports as well now, according to AS Diarra, that Real Madrid are interested in Florian Wirtz as well. This is where the doubts come in. This is where the panic comes in. And I've seen a lot of people panicking. I'm not panicking personally. I'm quite calm on this. I think it will happen. But I've seen a lot of people panic online. But what also I've seen is other fans having a go at them for panicking. When I think that's valid panicking. All they're doing is basing it on what they've seen in the previous past, and I like it. People liken it to the Caicedo. If it happens like Caicedo deal, I liken it more to the Romeo Lavia deal, because Romeo Lavia wanted to come to Liverpool. He was set for coming to Liverpool. All we did is keep lowballing Southampton. They asked him 50 million. We kept lowballing them, and this is quite similar to the situation. This is why people are scared and are panicking a little bit that this might not happen. I think it will. I'm not going to have a go at anyone that thinks anything differently if they are panicking a little bit.
I don't think, and then this sounds me wild saying this, I don't think Real Madrid can afford him. I'll be honest with you. I don't think they can, just for the pure reason of like, I know they don't have that PSR and stuff in the Liga, like it doesn't exist, like, but I don't think they can afford him in terms of where the hell is he going to play? How are they going to get him into that team? I mean, what do they do? Sell Bellingham, sell one of them, sell
Rodrigo. Also, that's the one that could be looking to go.
Yeah, but they've already got Mbappe, like, who did they sell? Like, they're not going to get much for, I mean, Brahim Diaz is good, Gula. Like, they've already got players that they should be playing anyway, but they don't play them. I'm not worried about the Real Madrid at the minute. I think, all, like, not Lamassia, what's it called? Marca, like, they'll just throw the hat in anything, because it's like, oh, Real Madrid. I'm not worried about this one. I think the way Liverpool have handled the whole situation with Wirtz has been brilliant. I mean, taking to Blackpool, whoever knew that'd be a good thing to take.
Hey, don't diss Blackpool and pound burgers.
Yeah,
anyone, I'm telling you.
It's that pound burger place. And it was, but I'm actually not worried at all. Like, I feel like I'm really refreshed because with the Caicedo deal, we just sort of threw. We was that team that just threw the money in, didn't we? We'll do.
Yeah.
Like, this has been something that's happened over a long time. I feel like it's been planned. I feel like as soon as Edwards come back in, I feel like it's unused this year. I feel like this has been planned for a long time. Like, there's been contact. There's got to have been contact there over that long period of time. And I think from like Wirtz's side, he's probably looked in on Liverpool now, like, wow, what a project this is. Like, I feel like I was saying this the other day, weren't we? Like, City's a bit one of them at the minute, isn't it? Like, obviously they're probably not going to get charged, but it's not really like, oh, you're looking in on it and it's like, is it an exciting project to go to? I don't know if it is. Yeah, you'll probably win, but it's like one of them. It's like it feels like very cutthroat at City at the minute, doesn't it? Like, if you're not performing well, you're gone. I don't think that Wirtz will be that type of player, but like, they sign Doku for 50 odd million, Grealish for 100 million. Like, these players are leaving. These are going to leave City, and like, these were the next thing for City, and they've just not been it. Like, Calvin Phillips, 50 million. How bad's he been? I feel like you're looking at Liverpool, and I think a big selling point at Liverpool as well is, like, I mean, we've seen it on the weekend. Look at the fans. Look at how much you're loved. Like, you can genuinely see that all the players absolutely love it. Like, McAllister is like a prime example of it. Like, he's won the World Cup. Messi talks about how he loves playing with Maka. Like, Maka's been unreal. And you see it. You can actually genuinely see in his face. He absolutely loves being at Liverpool. And you think, would you get that love at City? Would you get that love at Bayern? I don't think you would. I think that's what players look at that sometimes, don't they? Like, I feel like,
oh yeah, it means a lot. It means a lot personally. Yeah, the players love it. Look at how, like, Trent. Not Trent. I said Trent there. How Van Dijk reacts to the crowd. How these players that do react to the crowd. Even like Chiesa, for example, he's not really played much this season, but he absolutely loves Liverpool. You can tell he loves Liverpool already.
Yeah,
the way he loves the crowd, and
it's just
it plays a big part. Liverpool fans play a massive part in the drag to Liverpool.
It's like you can even look at it from like a negative point of view, right? Look, we come on here all the time, and I think a lot of people, other podcasts, other lives, stuff like that, constantly criticize Darwin Núñez. But when I'm at the game, I'm not going to not sing his name. I'm still going to sing Darwin. And you can look at it from that point of view, like, that is, it's negative that he's not performed the way he is. But does it mean
if Darwin did this at Real Madrid, it'd have been gone 2 years ago. It'd be forced out of the door. It'd have been dragged out.
He'd have been on loan at Cadiz or something now.
Yeah. It'd have been dragged out.
But the point is, like, you're looking at that, like, wow, what a project, what a club I'm going to. Like, it's such a big. It's like they're so steeped in history. Like, I think obviously City have got a very good, like, short, small history for the last 10, 15 years. But Liverpool have got, I mean, we've got history for 100, like, not 100 years. Well, yeah, probably 100 years. But I mean, the European history for us is like a big selling point as well. And I think you're looking in as a player. Arne Slot's come in, won the league in his first season. He's exciting. He's an exciting manager to play under. Like, wow, look at all this, like, changing in tactics and all this sort of, like, Gravenberg. People writing him off last year. He's been he won't play this. We don't play the season like that. Enough. It's enough said. And I think Premier League's the destination to go now. La Liga's finished, like, in terms of that. You only go Real Madrid or Barcelona, but I feel like the Premier League is the quality is so high. You're going to come here, and I think, like, if like Wirtz probably looking at, like, if I win Liverpool at Champions League next year, I'd look like an absolute super. Well, it would be a superstar, but I think that's a massive it's a massive selling point. And I think when people say, "Oh yeah, the money and all stuff like that," and we don't offer big wages and stuff like that, that doesn't necessarily mean that we offer decent wages. We know that, but doesn't mean everything, does it? Like, I think that people get misconstrued with that. Like, all footballers, like, they're going for the bag, they want the bag and stuff like that. Yeah, some footballers do, but
some do, yeah.
But if you're getting 200 grand a week and you're telling me you can't live off that, 200 grand a week, like, it's insane, isn't it? And the people are like, oh, he's going secure in the bag at City. Like, who cares? Like, that, what? Have a parade with 10,000 people in it, or have one with 1.5 million singing your name, like
10,000. You're very, very kind to City there. Very kind.
Oh yeah, 10,000. I like cardboard cutouts as well. But I think that means a lot. As it's just brilliant, isn't it? Like I mean, I'm obviously going to be really passionate about my club, but there's other clubs like that as well. Like who have got big following, big support and stuff. But at least we don't have a parade in Malaysia for 15th in the table.
That was the parade of the year, I've heard. I'm just going to get into the comments here. No way is Ekitike worth 100 million euros. You froze at the right time there. Rav Alvarez for that money. LFC offered. Look at that up. Where's it gone here? 100 player plus cash. I think it was plus add-ons. 100 million euros. It was. Real always does this. Says Parliament as well. Malik Fofana if Diaz goes. Yeah, I think that's a very good option if Diaz does go, because there's going to be start talking about Luis Diaz shortly about potentially going to Saudi Arabia as well. I'm surprised we're not linked with Martinez from Inter. Would be an interesting signing. No one's ever linked with Martinez. I'm very surprised that he has done very, very good at Inter Milan, actually. I don't like the fact he's taking so long to complete, but I understand these big transfers take time. I think what I will call for now is calm. I would potentially call for calm, but I also wouldn't ever go at people that are panicking, because Liverpool, if any club is to fumble this, it would be us, especially when it comes to transfer fees. Evening, boys. Evening, Jen. How are we doing this evening? Hope you are all well. Florian has agreed it's just FSG are being a pain, said Polo Mint. I just want this done and announced. Please talk about Madrid hijacking Wirtz deal, and Madrid rumours are rubbish. Well, that pretty much sums up the stream right now. Please talk about the Madrid hijack deal. And then Jen instantly says the Madrid rumours are rubbish. I think if the thing is with Madrid right now, I think they are looking to get rid of Rodrigo. And if they were to get rid of Rodrigo in the coming weeks, I think they might throw the hat in the Wirtz deal. But I think they're relying heavily on that sale to have the money. Like now, they probably don't have the money, but if they're to sell Rodrigo to an Arsenal, for example, does Arsenal do that to spite us? Go buy Rodrigo, so it gives Real Madrid the money to go get Wirtz. I think if I were Arsenal, I'll probably do that.
I'm honestly not worried about Arsenal whatsoever with this transfer window. They've been announcing Zubimendi for the last 4 months. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm sounding a bit like we've just been very proactive, and I think in the past we haven't. And the other team's sleeping now, which is good. They're sleeping.
Yeah. This is exactly what we've been asking for quite a while. But yeah, regarding Real Madrid, I think Real Madrid will become a threat if Liverpool keep playing this out. If Liverpool can get it done with the next 2 weeks, potentially, talking about next week with National League starting on Wednesday, so trying to get it done before that. If we can get it done before that, then I don't think it allows Real Madrid. And this is what I always say about deals: get it done. Just get it done. If you want your player, go get it done. Stop. Stop trying to hold out for less money. Yes, try get a good deal. Try haggle, and try bargain a little bit to get to a reasonable fee. You might have to pay 150 million, but try get as close as we can to where they would accept. Don't be insulting with the offers. That's what I'm trying to say to that. I think also the player does help as well. What player goes over there? Whether it be Elliott, Kelleher, Martin, Kwanzaa. We don't really know. No players have ever been mentioned in terms of the reports anyway.
I think Nunez was mentioned, but I can't see that. There's too much value.
They want to win the league again, Daj. You don't want to.
I know. To be fair, there's too much value in Nunez in terms of Liverpool. Liverpool wouldn't want to swap. I think if they were going to swap someone, they would swap with Nunez for a striker rather than swapping it for a midfielder. I don't think we'd do that for a midfielder or attacking mid. I think it'd be Nunez, and then the striker comes in, because then we're not panicking. Oh, but we're gonna get. But I think that's what would happen. Yeah, but I can't really see now. I said Nunez. Can't really see Nunez going to Germany anyway. I think it's too
good of a league for him.
No,
you can't say it.
Not that. I just think Harry Kane's obviously brilliant. He rips it up over there, but I feel I don't know. He's very suited to Spanish football, Nunez, isn't he? He's extremely suited to Spanish football. Premier League, not so much.
Ali said I expect it to be done by tomorrow. Madrid aren't hijacking anything, says Okaze. And Jen says I expect it to be announced on Sunday. Is there a reason why Sunday, Jen? Sunday's a random day, unless it's just a week after just celebrating the title win. I don't know, but yeah, I think like Jen said there, Sunday she's saying there, but Wednesday is the report where it's the Nations League. They want to get done before that specifically. Luis Diaz has said expect a couple of transfers being done before the deadline opens. So the deadline does open on Sunday. Well, is it open Sunday? That might be the Sunday. It will be Sunday, yeah, 'cause it's the 3rd on Tuesday. But yeah, so transfer window opens on Sunday, 1st of June. I think Frimpong will officially be, Jen said there. Sorry, Jen. Transfer window does open. Yeah, it does. Now, I worked it out quite quickly there. But yeah, Frimpong will be officially announced. I announced that last week in terms of Frimpong. It is done. Medical's done. But he officially can't be a Liverpool player until the transfer window opens. But yeah, I think regarding Wirtz, don't panic, guys. Do not panic on Wirtz. I say do not panic. I'm telling people not to panic, but I understand the panic. Yeah. I personally am patient. I will, if you want to panic about it, then it's understandable for me because things have happened in the past where we haven't got over the line with transfers, and I think it gets done for me personally. I think I do see Wirtz being a Liverpool player next season, and what a sign it would be, by the way.
I think by this time next week we'll be talking about Florian Wirtz, where he's going to play for Liverpool, because he'll be done. I think that's how confident I am that it'll be done in the next 7 days. I think it'll be back and forth, like you say, with a bit of money. How much? That'll be what it'll be, and they'll just be like, right, we'll pay it, because we'll pay it. Just how much we want to pay it first.
Which player do you think could go across? Obviously, the talks are of player going across. According to Luis Diaz the other day, Harvey Elliot has interest from Leverkusen, Dortmund, and past interest from Brighton. So, could Harvey Elliot be that guy? Sort of not instant replace Wirtz, but he plays similar positions. So,
I think if you'd like, it's not like for like at all. But I think positional, Harvey Elliott does play an attacking mid role. I really think Harvey Elliott would be good out in Germany. It's not as, German football is probably as close as you get to the Premier League in terms of the physicality and pace of it.
The way it's played here, yeah.
It's not as quick as the Premier League. We know that, but it's still pretty quick. But I think, Harvey Elliott would do pretty decent out there, because not that the teams are not as good. I just think that Elliott would do good in that sort of team of Leverkusen. They've already got quite a pacey sort of they haven't, because we've taken Frimpong now, but they've got like pacey wings in Teller, and Grimaldo's obviously still going to remain there as left back, and I think that he'd probably do quite well in Leverkusen. They've got quite a good base. Boniface as well. He's a pretty good player up front. Schick has been very good this season. I think he'd do okay. Like the formation he played would probably suit Elliott in that attacking mid role. Even if they did play sort of, they play like 3-5-2, don't they? Something like that.
That's what I'm thinking about Real Madrid. Because obviously Xabi Alonso go to Real Madrid. Will Florian Wirtz fit there? I think he would.
Yeah, but
they've got Eric Ten Hag now, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Elliott would go. I think he'd be good anywhere where he goes, to be honest. I think he needs to go somewhere for his career, because I think you can't stay at Liverpool now. I just think it would be.
Tom says that Elliott's going to be a starting, but Elliott under Ten Hag as well. Who saw that coming?
Yeah. If he goes to Dortmund or Leverkusen, I think for Elliott, as personally, I would say Leverkusen's a better destination, just because I know they're going to lose a few players in the summer, but the spine is better at the team. The club, there's good vibes at the club, isn't there? Still, they finished second last season. They were very good. Dortmund were just not Dortmund. Bayern were just Bayern. But they obviously won the league. And I think you go into like a team that's it's successful. I think you go to Dortmund, they're not very good at the minute. They're not in the Champions League. Not in the Europa League, aren't they, next season or something? They didn't play very well this season, Dortmund. But
I think Dortmund have a better chance of catching Bayern now than Leverkusen are. Also, losing Alonso is massive. Wirtz, Frimpong, Tar's gone as well.
Yeah, true, but it's just the thing is with Dortmund though, they can't keep a manager. They just keep sacking managers, don't they? They're like, the manager will do okay, and then he'll lose like 3 games and just sack him. Which has never really been like Dortmund. That, to be honest, they've just become like that really recently. I don't know why they keep doing it.
They're trying to find a flop again, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's a wild shout, rogue shout this, but I think like a really good team to go to in Germany, Stuttgart. I think they're a really good team to go to. They produce good players. They do lose out on them. Yeah, Garassi went. Still are probably going to go this season. But Stuttgart, like, obviously they come up and they've got a massive following. Stuttgart, one of the biggest teams in Germany. They do really well at producing talent. I don't know with Elliott. It's weird, isn't it, to think about it? Like, because he's young, he could have like 2 years in Germany, come out of the Premier League. I think that'd be like maybe good for him, just because he's getting that game time. He's not going to get it over here. He's not going to play in slot system. We know that. So Germany would be a good destination for Elliott. I don't know with Brighton, because the Brighton links are very strong with Elliott.
I think I've said it before on a previous stream. I don't know who I was with, but I'm sure I said like a Brighton or a Palace, something like that would work well with Elliott. That team on the upcome a little bit, a bit of talent around him.
I think Palace would be better than Brighton, I'll be honest. Just because
even in Brentford, for example.
I think
they can keep Mbeumo Wissa. I think Elliott just in behind.
Yeah.
A very good player to have there.
I think with Elliott though, with him going Brighton, I just they've got too many players in that position again, haven't they? Like they've got Matt O'Reilly, they've got
João Pedro can play there as
well.
I
couldn't think of his name then. João Pedro, they've got obviously they'll still have Welbeck next year.
Minty could play there as well.
Minter. I mean, like they've got a lot of players in them sort of like positions that Elliott plays. So I don't know. I mean, saying that Crystal Palace have, but Crystal Palace would accommodate Elliott, and I think they might. I think they could lose Eze. I'm pretty confident they could lose Eze actually in the summer. Being linked with Bayern, hasn't he? Because of
yeah. I mean, Eze and Lessie back together again.
Each match.
Dazzle said here, who would you compared Wirtz to? For me, reminds me of Mario Götze and KDB. For me personally, in Premier League, I'm trying to think in recent Premier League history, in terms of like last 10, 15 years, I'd say Ozil.
Do you know what he's got a bit of?
I think it's Ozil, but better at shooting.
Yeah. Do you know what he's got a bit of? He's got a bit of the Coutinho, hasn't he?
Yeah, like if he had Ozil and Coutinho together.
He's
got the creativity of Ozil, but again, I won't say he's better than Coutinho at shooting, but he's got pretty much the eye of goal like Coutinho plays, and the way he runs and stuff, and the way he dribbles is pretty much like Coutinho as well. But yeah,
but he's a bit faster, I'd say, than Coutinho and Ozil. But he's got a bit more legs on him, and he's a bit more of a sprint. Well, I mean, Coutinho was quick back in the day. He just never was like.
Didn't really run much. Yeah. Didn't really like to run much.
Covers a lot of ground, Wirtz, actually. Like that's one of his things that he doesn't really get spoken about with Wirtz. Like, I mean, he is an attacking player, but he does cover a lot of ground. But I mean, it doesn't even matter, does it? Because he's just unbelievable.
Chris says here, 20 different Reds channels making the same speculative videos every few hours. There is no news, no new news. I know, Chris. Look, we are set for 7 o'clock every night, so whatever happens on other channels throughout the day. I've seen a couple of channels live today going out whenever they can. But us on Talking Reds, we're live every night at 7 o'clock, so we can only wait until 7 o'clock before talking about it. But what we will do, if something comes out in terms of concrete, in terms of it being done, we will go live pretty much not within an hour of that thing. So we will make sure we get out here. If you do want to, make sure you subscribe to us and find out if it is done, like I did with Frimpong last week when it was officially done last week with the medical and things like that. I went live about it. Please subscribe and join us at Talking Reds as well, because we will make sure we are live quite quickly if anything concrete comes out regarding Wirtz. Who wants to place for Ten Hag? Elliott would do well in Germany. Big up, Reese. How are we doing? I think Brighton or Palace could be a work if he does have the options. Elliott is not physically big enough to play in the centre. I think as a cam, I think he is in certain teams. He is.
Yeah.
You need runners next to him. That's why I think Brighton would slightly work, because you've got Belabor next to him as a runner. You need someone physical. You need 2 players really physical and runners behind him really, and let him just be a free man.
I don't even with his size. Like, I mean, you can have small players. Like McAllister's small, but it's just like it's his physicality of Elliott, isn't it? It's the physicality. Like he's not strong. He's not quick. He's not very. He doesn't really run a lot either. Like he's not got the legs, as in terms of like he can't cover a lot of ground. So it's hard, isn't it? Like with McAllister's quick, strong, good in the tackle, and got an absolute he's an absolute engine, and Elliott hasn't got any of them. Really.
Yeah.
Elliott's got the passing. He's good at the through balls and
the vision. Yeah,
the vision. Great at shooting as well. But I just think he's just not suited to the Premier League currently.
I think he's technically gifted, very technically gifted. But if he worked physically, I think he would. That's just up to him. He might not want to work physically.
It's hard though, isn't it? Like sometimes you can, players in the past, like I mean, go back to Özil. Actually, Özil was not physical at all.
No.
But I think with it, he had a bit of height, didn't he, Özil, which obviously helped a little bit. But yeah, again,
you didn't need running power back then. You can be physical in midfield, especially midfielders. You had to be physical and powerful, but you didn't need to be. You didn't need to be an athlete.
You needed to be
back then. I mean, now. I mean, Michael Owen said it, didn't he? Michael Owen said it. All you have to do is be an athlete these days. You become a Premier League player.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially at Liverpool, you have to be. I think out of most clubs in the entire world, like you have to be an absolute machine, and that's not even gone from Klopp. That's gone from Klopp into Slot. Now you have to run. You have to be physically like above everyone else. You have to be beating them in the physicality test. Like I think, yeah, it's a shame. I do like him. I do really like him. He's a great lad. He loves Liverpool and stuff like that. But I think for his career, I mean, he'd stay forever.
Yeah.
He'd stay forever, and he'd be happy to us now. But I think for his career, he needs to go somewhere else, and he just needs to show his talent because he's brilliant.
How come Fab isn't reporting Wirtz? Fab just waits for tap-ins. It's like Van Nistelrooy in his prime. That's what Fabrizio Romano is like. And speaking of Fabrizio Romano, he has spoken about someone. It might not be Wirtz, but it is Milos Kerkez. Milos Kerkez can't wait to become a Liverpool player. The expectation is that the deal is advanced in the next days. And that, for me, I think Kerkez gets done before Wirtz.
Yeah.
I think Kerkez and Frimpong will be announced pretty much on Sunday, both of them, if I'm honest. Kerkez has pretty much flirted with Liverpool for the last few months. He couldn't be more. I don't like that he's done it against Bournemouth because we haven't got a trend for doing that. But yeah, I think this is probably like the worst secret in the world that Kerkez is joining Liverpool.
Yeah, I said last week that I see him down Smith Down Road walking his dog. May as well just done that.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if he'd just been camping in Liverpool for the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Waiting for it to happen.
It's been staying at Premier Inn, waiting to go.
But yeah, Kerkez. Does this deal, it excites me, but does it also reiterate that we need another midfielder?
I mean, I've said what I think is going to happen next season. I've said it for months. I'm quite happy with it, but I'm not over the moon with it, but I'm willing to give it a go. Bajcetic will be the one. I'm happy to if we keep Endo and Bajcetic and Slot uses him a little bit more next season. I'm happy with that rotation. One, Bajcetic, what we've seen of Bajcetic when he first came onto the scene, he was actually very bad that season, and he was very good.
He's a star, yeah.
Pretty good, and I like Bajcetic as well because he can play multiple positions: right back, centre back, CDM, centre mid. He's a runner. He's an absolute runner, and I love that about him. And then, I always say La Liga, you can't really compare to the Premier League because it's a completely different league at the minute. But if you've looked at his numbers this season, he's had a very, very good loan at Las Palmas. He had a bit of an unfortunate time going to Pep Linders under when he went to Salzburg.
Did that him or that Pep Linders?
I think it was
the new Manchester City assistant manager, by the way, soon to be Pep Linders.
Mad in it. And then, yeah, I think when you look at it, and then Bajcetic, I think he was top for interceptions, top for passes forward from defensive midfielders in the whole league, and that's only in 6 months of him being there. Brilliant. I think he's, I'm happy to see him come back, and I'm happy for him to rotate with Gravenberch. I do think we need that safety net of keeping Endo there, but using him when we need to use Endo. Don't just I think Endo was brilliant in the season. We stopped doing it. I don't know why we stopped doing it. He was brilliant at coming on that last 20 minutes and just closing the game up. And I think we stopped doing it for some reason, didn't we? I don't know why we stopped doing it.
Yeah.
I think next season, we need to do that. Bajcetic comes in. It'd be nice to get another midfielder, as in Stiller, something like that. I think
Real Madrid bound now, Stiller.
Yeah.
Reports.
They're signing me next. They sign everyone, don't they?
I know they want a controller. That is the number one controller for me right now. Stiller, I'd love Stiller.
Zubimendi or Stiller, definitely. But yeah, I don't know. I'm happy with Bajcetic. I'm very extremely happy with Gravenberch. I just think he needs that rotation because
yeah.
We will struggle if we don't have that rotation. Gravenberch will get injured. I know what will happen because he'll just get injured because he's just going to be playing too many games. But I'm happy with it if that is what the case is. Like,
We've seen it this year with McAllister. McAllister pretty much running to the ground to the point where he couldn't play the last couple of games because of it.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, Kerkez to Liverpool is close, though, guys. Kerkez to Liverpool is close, regardless of whatever happens as well.
Wonderful
we're going to
side.
talk about Ekitike actually, though, mate. Can we not be linked to Ekitike just instead of inquire about Alvarez and Alpha Nunes? Ekitike, another one from Bundesliga, the Naj. I think I don't even have to say anything, if I'm honest. If you want Naj's reaction, just look at the reaction there. He didn't have to talk about it because Ekitike, €100 million is the reported fee according to him. Chelsea has to lead in race, but according to other reports as well, that once we have got Wirtz done, a Conspot build, Ekitike next.
I mean, I don't think we'll sign him, but he's the worst player to be linked to. I mean, people like seeing all over Twitter, oh, we're getting Ekitike. Oh, he's going to be so good. No, he's not. No, he's not. I don't think how many times I've told people this. We don't need another project striker. We need a striker who's going to come in and get us 20, 30 goals a season. Ekitike has failed at PSG. He's had a good 6 months at Eintracht Frankfurt. Like, the obvious choice is Alvarez. He's had a very good year at City. He had a very good year at Atletico. He's proven in the Prem. He's proven in the Liga. He scores goals. He links up. He is the perfect Liverpool striker. I can't even, if you was going to paint a picture of the perfect Liverpool striker right now, it'd be Alvarez. But Ekitike, I don't like. I don't like the way. I mean, I'm not going to over critique him. I don't like the way he runs. In terms of, I don't think he's too. He's one of the. He runs like Nunes. He's not close control sort of. You know, he is and he isn't. But he's like with Alvarez. It's like them little intricate things where this is something that happens with Liverpool so much, right? Is we get a low block and we get, Nunes is lumped up front and stuff like that. The only thing you can really do to him, because if you fire a ball into a big striker, how many times is he going to touch it around them? Like, it's not often that a big striker's like that. Zlatan, that's all the one I could think of the top of my head, really. May have missed with Drogba, maybe. But, an Ekitike, it's just a recipe waiting to happen. Like, them low blocks with Alvarez, he drops in, doesn't he? You've seen it for Atletico, drops in. And that's what we need, like someone like that, like a Firmino-esque, Suarez-esque sort of striker. We don't need someone who's a big 6'2" lump who's just not going to work again. It's just it is a Nunes again, and that's all. I just don't want it to happen because I just think it's just basically spunking money, because I think I can see it now. It'll be exactly the same as Nunes.
If we're going to get a bigger striker like that, I think Mateta would be a better option. If I'm talking about
100%, because he looks
like that. Everyone paid the edge fee, smash and like that and subs. But if you can hit the like button, it would help massively. If you can subscribe, it'd be absolutely fantastic. I try to create content every single day for you guys. Me and Naj did a video earlier, which will be coming up tomorrow morning, hopefully. Once I've edited it. But yeah, we will do content every single day. We're live every single night at 7:00. So make sure you do smash that like to help us out in terms of YouTube. And also subscribe to the channel as well on our race to 750 subs now as well. So we've got 512 subs now. Thank you everyone for watching, and thank you everyone for smashing that like and subscribing as well in the previous streams. Go all out and get Adam Watt. I mean, Adam Watt would be a brilliant signing for Miles Paul Davis. Absolutely brilliant signing. Zakia says, big up panel and chat. Smash the likes. Thank you very much, Zakia. Nunes has got a no-brain. Guys, a disaster. Will struggle in the Championship. Dazo said, I would go for Martinez from Inter. I think it makes sense to offer Nunes in return. It's really hard though with Nunes because who wants him? I mean, there is talk about Atletico Madrid wanting him, but the talk about Atletico Madrid was to link up with Alvarez rather than replace Alvarez. So that's going to be a difficult thing. Mirror Football said that we are going to be focused on selling Darwin Nunes once Wirtz over the line. I mean, that just shows, that sums up Darwin Núñez, the fact that he is going to be the first in line to be off. Basically, we just want him out. Do you think it is going to be a Saudi thing with him? And Diaz as well. Also, that is attracting interest from Saudi Arabia as well.
I think Núñez will go. I think he's staying in Europe. I'll be honest with you. I don't think he's going to go to Saudi yet, unless a big deal comes in. Someone goes, here's 70 mil, snaps their hand off at it, because that is going to be the best you're going to get for him, unfortunately. Núñez, I think he can stay in Europe. I do think, we said this a couple of times on the lives and on the videos. I think that Núñez could be used in a part deal for Alvarez. I think that's something that has been probably spoken about. I'm not just saying that off me thinking that. I think that's something that's obviously being said, or there wouldn't have been them links there originally. He is a Simeone player, isn't he? I think that's where a club he'd do really well, just because Simeone doesn't really need the technical players in terms of the way they win games is sort of, he wins the games, doesn't he? Simeone, like his tactics, like he just tell, like you run at him, and that's what Núñez will do for him all day long. And I think he'd probably do well in Spain. It's nowhere near as fast paced. I mean, Diaz, I still wouldn't sell him unless a big money deal come in for him. I wouldn't sell him, to be honest. I don't think Diaz would go to Saudi as well. I think he's too comfortable at Liverpool. Núñez just isn't comfortable at Liverpool. You can see that anyway. I think he's the one that goes, but I do think he'll stay in Europe. Spain makes more sense. He's been in England 3 years. He can't. I'm criticizing people learning English, but he still can't. He can't speak English, can he?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And Diaz, Diaz speaks English now. I mean, Diaz come from like a really, really poor background, didn't he? And Diaz,
he worked hard to get where he was. Yeah.
And Diaz speaks English now. I mean, he's been there a little bit longer than Núñez, but you can see it with the players. Like you see Diaz is in amongst everyone and stuff like that, and talking. And Núñez, I don't know. Maybe it's because people say he's got no brain, but he just never looked like comfortable. And I think that's the fact that he's probably not. I mean, learn English as well as everyone else, and I mean, how I saying?
I think it's effort, because as well. I mean, obviously, you got to have effort to learn a new language and things like that, and put effort in to do it. But again, with his finishing, he can work on it massively. It doesn't seem like he's worked on it at all.
That's what I'm trying to get at. He's not looked comfortable, so he's not done anything to remain in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like his finishing, we've seen players who been at Liverpool that look, they can't hit a barn door, and then he starts scoring loads of goals. We've seen that many a times in the past. But I don't know what it is with him. He just seems like to not want to progress in the way that other players have.
He's not willing to put in the work to get to where he should be getting. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to make. It's at the point of learning English. I mean, that's not the end of the world. He doesn't have to.
Yeah. But it's something to base it on. If he's not working hard to learn that, then he's not going to. It's quite a simple thing to, not a simple thing to, but it's something that's quite. If you really want to get better here, learn the language, and I would do that if I moved to France. I'd learn the language.
Yeah, of course. Well, Bellingham did it.
One of the first things you do.
Bellingham speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
Spanish since he's gone over there. A lot of players do that.
Here we go. In the next few hours, of Wirtz. Leaf says, I'd say the next few days, Leaf. How about that?
Yeah.
The next few hours.
Let's John Henry gets his chat book out and just goes, here you have it.
I could see Núñez in Atletico shirt. Simeone would love him. I don't know if he'd be one of them. It's like my mate. He'd either love him or hate him, Simeone. And I said it a couple of months back. Send Amazon over there. We need a documentary on Núñez going to playing with Simeone, because that would be absolute popcorn worth of drama. Do you think we might wait until next summer to go either Alvarez or Isak?
No.
Maybe those two specifically. Those two specific players, maybe, but with the position, no. I think we have to get a striker no matter what this summer, because Núñez is off. Jota might leave as well, so I think it's a must get in a striker. But those two specific players are not available this summer, then they might be open to next summer. I don't really know.
Here's one, right? It's a good question, actually. Do you think, wait till next summer? Here's a good question for you. if you had to get a player in for a season-long loan, and it sounds weird saying this because it's Liverpool, we should be buying players. Would you take, would you take a punt on like a loan on Ivan Toney or like something like that? I don't know if I would do that, but
Harry Kane.
Harry, I don't think they'd loan him out, would they?
Not loan him out, just get him for a couple of years.
Look, I think Alvarez would be. I don't know. Alvarez wants to move. He said, hasn't he? He said he wants to go and play back in the Premier League. He's literally said it. He's literally come out and said it. So I don't know if that's the way we say, "Here, come and get me," basically. But
one player that else could be going out is Luis Diaz. Paul Joyce, obviously the main guy talking about Liverpool, is usually the main one that gets things right. Al Nassr are very much interested in Luis Diaz. Again, we've spoken about Saudi Arabia, then potentially coming for Núñez. Luis Diaz potentially going out the door, Naj. I mean, it's one of them, innit? It's like we haven't really got a direct replacement. Wirtz could play out left, but have we bought Wirtz for that?
No, we haven't definitely got Wirtz for that. The reason why I bought Wirtz, I think, is, Szoboszlai and Wirtz will obviously rotate. I think Szoboszlai gets underrated, by the way. I think he's been brilliant this season. It's just weird, isn't it? Because we're sat here now, we don't know what we're going to do in terms of that front line. There's only one nailed-on player, and it's Salah. And Gakpo as well. Gakpo. But in terms of nailed on starting every single week, it's Salah. And that's the only person nailed on. We don't know about Jota. We don't know about Núñez. We don't know about Diaz. And it's very like whoever goes, we're going to have to replace them with that same, upgrade on Núñez, obviously. But Diaz is going to be very difficult to upgrade. He's got a lot of goals and assists this season. People seem to forget that because he has, like I always say, he purple patch. Rubbish, purple patch. That's what he's like. Well, he's not rubbish. He's just not. He doesn't score or assist, but he's still influential in the team. But it's like, how do you replace that? Who do you get from Diaz? Like, I think he's top 5 in the world for left wingers. In terms
do you think that really
output? Yeah, output wise. Yeah.
But in terms of in terms of the wingers, I think there is a few better than him. But again, Gakpo, like Robert said, I think Gakpo is pretty much the nailed-on left winger for me, the best one out of the both. If Diaz plays like he can, then I think he certainly can give Gakpo a run for his money. I think he could even be better than Gakpo, but he just doesn't do it enough. Mm-hmm. That's the issue we've always had with Núñez. Diaz. Núñez certainly doesn't do it enough, but Diaz certainly don't really do it enough. Like I said, purple patch player. And when he has been brilliant, he's been brilliant. But when he hasn't, he just hasn't. It's pointless on the pitch sometimes. He goes missing.
Yeah, I mean, with Diaz though, like I don't think Slot would sell Diaz. I'll be honest with you. I think he'll remain at Liverpool next season. I just think the ones that are going to go out the door are just the obvious ones, really. They might look. I don't know. Someone may go out the door, but I think like the obvious ones that are going out are Núñez, Elliott, Tsimikas, Kelleher, Morton, maybe Jota. I don't know. So yeah, I think
Kelleher though, he's about 20 million, 25 million. I think I saw yesterday. Players that might not be going out the door. Quansah might be going out the door as well. Curtis Jones not going to go anywhere. Consuelo Steele. Endo said he's not going anywhere. Endo said I think I'll be at Liverpool next season. Cody Gakpo very, very unlikely to go anytime soon. I was surprised at that Cody Gakpo news anyway about Bayern Munich. I didn't even think about Cody Gakpo even leaving at any point. But I want to speak about one person, and that's Konate. That's what's come out today. Independent's come out and say, my agent, this is what he said about Liverpool. I know I will have objectives with this club to become leader, to be winning everything, and I'm very happy to be here. To be fair, this is another conversation with me, club, and my agent. We will see what will happen in the next few weeks. I don't know when we will see. Let me say that. Progressing, not really. But my agent met the club last week, and I don't know what will happen. I just want to say one thing. Everything you saw on social media is completely fake. I didn't even ask for something from the club. They made me an offer. I replied to them with something. That is it. The rest, and that I want to wait until the end of all of it, is completely fake. So, Konate basically saying there, it's not really progressing in terms of the negotiations for a new contract, but everything else that he'd asked from the club was fake from social media. So it's quite worrying, that Konate thing. I said it before. We need to sort it out this summer because otherwise, they're going for free next summer.
I'm actually not worried about it. You know, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one reason why, because obviously I've seen that today. I'm not worried about it because I think that he's probably not asked for 200k a week. He's probably asked for like what we said we said the other week, 150,
160, yeah.
Like that ballpark. I think that'll get done. I think that's not an issue for Liverpool. I think, you know, like say Nunes is going to go out. He's on 200k a week. That'll be, as soon as he goes, it'll be like, Konate, you go, lad. You know, then that'll be it. Joss is on 150 a week. Like, if he goes, that's money there, isn't it? Like, you know, I think we forget that, you know, the two players we did lose last season in terms of one retired, well, both retired actually, Thiago and Matip. They were both on 200k a week. Like, that's 400k a week off the wage bill. Like, I mean, Konate is going to get that. Oh, Nat Phillips is going to go as well, by the way, because he's on 65 grand a week.
I forget his ear, mate. Honestly, I forget his ear. It's like honestly, it's like, you know, that fly that flies around your house, and you think, oh, I've chased it out here, and it's still there in corner. You don't realize it's there. You just, at one point in the week, you're like, oh, I can't be asked chasing it anymore.
Yeah. 65 grand a week he's on. He will go, by the way. Like, that'll be one that'll go. I think Konate needs to get that new contract. I mean, if you remember a couple of months ago, Quanta got a new contract. Do you remember that? He got a new one.
Yeah.
Bradley's just got a new one. I just think with Konate one, because he's such a senior member, like, he's not even that old, is he really? You know, he's such like he's just a huge member of the team. Like, he's so key to the way we play. I think it'll be sort of just one of them, like, what? I don't think it'd be like what we're willing to pay him. I think we'll pay him what he wants. I just think it'll be sort of when it'll be done, because I just think at the minute there's a lot going on with the contracts and stuff in terms of Vert's contract, how much is he going to be on, how much is Frimpong going to be on, how much is Kerkez going to be on. There's three you've got to sort out before you get to Konate. He's not going anywhere, is he? Like, he isn't yet. So, you know, I think it's okay.
It's one to keep an eye on, though. It's only one to keep an eye on regarding Konate. It does need to be done, like Tony said here. It needs to be sorted before the season starts. It needs to be sorted this summer, because if we don't sort it this summer, we need to sell him. Yeah, and really, I've said it before, we need to sell him early because we need to replace him.
Yeah.
You can't sell him last minute and then start panicking looking for centre-backs everywhere. Speaking of centre-backs, Castella-Lekeba. We spoke about Castella-Lekeba. Me and Stu did a Bundesliga sort of targets thing stream last week. It's on our YouTube, on our videos. 5 Bundesliga targets that we're going for, and Lekeba was one of them. I think we did 5 different positions. Premier League champions are exploring the potential cost of the deal with Lekeba. So not a very reliable source, but we are looking for a centre-back now, which is good.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, Lekeba is really good, actually. Like, he's one that I think we've been monitoring FC for a while. I do apologise. I'm just trying to get my charger.
It's all right.
Yeah, I think it's someone we looked at for a while. I am keen to say it could be something we'd probably maybe sign possibly in the next couple of seasons. Maybe not now. Can't really see him going anywhere anytime soon from Leipzig, unless Real Madrid come in, of course.
He's still a young lad, though. He's only, 22 years old? Still a young lad.
Yeah.
Many times get better.
It'd be similar to Konate, won't it? Like, you know.
Yeah.
You know, we've obviously got a good relationship with Leipzig, just because we signed. You know, how many players we signed from Leipzig now? I think we signed everyone, haven't we?
Konate, Keita, Szoboszlai. It's free.
Can't
think of anyone else.
I think we signed someone else, haven't we?
Not that I can think of, unless someone else in the chat can think of someone else. Like Keita, Szoboszlai, and Konate from Leipzig. I can't think of anyone else.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about Quansah. 50 million for Quansah. That's the latest report by Luis Diaz. That's what Liverpool want for Quansah. 50 million if he is to go. Players in teams in Bundesliga and England are wanting him. What do you think about that one? Because again, we've both said, aren't we? If Quansah stays, I'm happy with that, because I still have one more hope on Konate being better.
Yeah, I think he's got. I think I think it's one of them with Quanta. We said, didn't we? Like, I'm happy to stay. He's already proven that he can be a really good centre back. I think he just needs to not get over himself, get over things. I think he lets things dwell on things that's always a sign of a really good player, isn't it? They always do. You can do 1,000 things wrong, but you do one thing right, and that that's the thing that wins you or gets you. Gets your team at the points or whatever. I think Quanta still is mulling over that bloody Fernandes goal from Liverpool. I mean, yes, it's a humongous thing. We did go out the FA Cup, and we probably might. Well, I mean, listen, City got beat by United, so I think we'd have won that. How would we won that FA Cup? We would have won. I think he can't get things out of his head. That's what it seems to be for me. I mean, I say that from personal point of view. I do that as well. I don't do it as much now, but I used to do it myself. I used to be like, oh, well, I've missed that. Oh, I've done that.
Yeah. It's just human nature. Yeah.
Nature, and I think, elite players like Konate and Van Dijk make mistakes all the time, but they don't let it get to them. They just, that's it.
Alisson Becker, another one. He made a few mistakes when they first signed him.
Yeah, and I mean, look, they're some of the best players in the world. Alisson, best goalkeeper in the world. Van Dijk, best centre back in the world for the best part of 8-9 years now. So it's just, I think I'm willing to take that chance because I think he'll get over it, and I think if he does get over it, we can see a real good young player there. Was he 22? I think as well. He's had a lot of media attention for his own doing as well, hasn't he? That, with all the OnlyFans and all that rubbish. And, I don't think he's done himself any favours over the last 12 months.
No.
But hopefully he can put that all behind him. Many players have put stuff behind them and got things. I believe in him. 50 million is a good price for him, but could he be worth more than that in a couple of years? Who knows?
Hayel says here, do you see Joe Gomez leaving? I think Joe Gomez depends on these two players we've just been talking about, Konate and Quanta, because if we let Joe Gomez go and Quanta might go, and Konate, we don't know where his future lies right now in terms of his contract. It's 3 centre-backs, 2 centre-backs potentially going. That's a big change. So I think we'll do all we can to keep Gomez if that was the case, if Konate or Quanta were to go, either one of them, or both. It's a possibility. So I don't see Gomez going anywhere, and potentially allow versatile as well. I think obviously his issues are his fitness, and I think me personally, I would get rid of Gomez. I'd keep Konate, Quanta. I'd get rid of Gomez and do that. But if Konate doesn't stay, and if Quanta is looked to move on, I would do personally is rid of Joe Gomez. But it is what it is. We've got to keep someone. Can't get rid of 3 centre backs. There's not a chance. Before we do go there, Naj, also the reports yesterday about John Heitinga potentially joining Ajax from Liverpool, obviously assistant coach for Arne Slot in only his first season with Liverpool. Ajax want him as new manager. Ajax are doing all they can to get him as new manager, which is probably a brilliant move for him if he were to go to someone like an Ajax. It's an incredible club to be a manager. It's hard for assistant managers to turn down situations like that. Pep Linders went off as well. Obviously, Klopp's first man went off. Went after like a year or 2 years, didn't he? So it's hard when an opportunity comes up like this for a person like Heitinga, also Dutch. Ajax are the biggest Dutch club in the country. So do you see him leaving Liverpool after one season with Liverpool?
I mean, you can't really take that, can you? I mean, that ultimately he's in the game to be a manager, isn't he? Like, you don't become an assistant manager. You're in the game to be a manager. I mean, we've seen it in the past. Sammy Lee, Sam Allardyce, they were obviously a really famous duo, weren't they? With the assistant and manager. I mean, obviously we've seen it with our own club. I mean, I haven't personally, but we've seen it with our own club as within Paisley and Shanks and I can't think. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like they've all had good assistants, but ultimately they all want to be a manager at the end of the day because that's it.
Yeah.
So I think if he does go, I'm going to be happy for him. It's quite funny that an ex-Everton player won the Premier League with us. But I like him. I'd like Johnny Heitinga, and I think he will be missed. But I feel like Arne Slot is I feel like he's very one man. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, with Klopp, he obviously was very on it with everyone, wasn't he? Like, was sort of like, what was his name? Was it Baric or Beric? What his name was? The first one we had, Buric. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, it's. I don't know why I can't remember his name. Yeah, I think. I know what you're about. Yeah, I know what you're about.
I mean, he was there and he left, and then we had Pep Linders. And I feel like they had quite a lot of input into the way we played and stuff. Like, Klopp would listen to everyone. Obviously, we had the throwing coach. I can't remember his name. Like, lots of
yeah.
Like, and then Taff. I mean, Taff's still there, isn't he? Taffarel for Alex coach. But I feel like there was a lot more input in. Klopp would take their input. Well, I feel like with Slot,
Buvak, I'm glad someone put it in there. I did actually just remember then. Buvak said Alex there. Yeah, it was Buvak. He was a lot of the brains behind Klopp as well.
Yeah. I feel like Slot is him. I feel like Slot's a bit more like he has the last say sort of thing. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't take all his coaches on board and stuff like that. They won't be there, would they? I feel like you get the impression that Slot is the one that sort of
the brains behind the operation.
Yeah,
yeah.
And Gravenberg goes into centre back. We play three at the back and stuff like that. I don't think that's like Johnny Heitinga saying that or anyone like. I think that's Slot like on the moment. Like, I'm doing this now. Like Kwanzaa in the first game, he's coming off. I feel like Slot is very much. He just does it. He just does what he wants to do, sort of thing. But I'd say he'd be missed. And I think obviously he's been a massive influence this season. But I just think Slot is a bit more, not selfish. I don't know what word I'm looking for, to be honest. He's the boss. He's the boss.
He has been more. He has been sort of the brains behind our operation. We don't really know that. If we've come to next season, it all falls apart because Heitinga's gone. Then we know Heitinga's the brains behind. But it does seem like he seems very comfortable in his own skin, just sort of making decisions by himself. It seems that way, but hopefully it doesn't. It doesn't really affect us next season. Heitinga, if he does go, that's if Heitinga does go. If Heitinga goes, he's won the league with Liverpool. Obviously, for Everton, it's hilarious. Good luck to him. Good luck to him. It is a big club in Ajax, and it's probably really hard for a Dutch international to turn that down, if I'm honest. And if he does, then who knows who we could get? Cal. They talk about Cal. They talk about Gerrard. Who knows who we can get? But as long as Slot's here, that's all I'm bothered about. Thank you, everyone. Go on, mate.
I heard about Thiago. Did you see that about Thiago?
That'd be interesting.
Like Thiago.
He certainly is the brains behind the operation. Thank you, guys, everyone, for watching. Make sure you do smash that like to help us out massively in terms of going on YouTube. It would help us out massively. If we can get to 50 likes today, that would be absolutely appreciated. Thank you, everyone, for joining again. I mean, you guys are absolutely amazing joining in the chat every night. Thank you for bearing with us as well. Obviously, we're back now. Back live at 7:00 every single night. So make sure you do smash that like, subscribe to the channel as well. We will also be live quite quickly as well. If anything comes out regarding Wirtz in terms of done deal, in terms of Kerkez in terms of done deal, anything else as well, outgoings, with like Nunes or anyone like that, we will be live quite quick. So make sure you do turn the notification bell on as well on Talking Reds, and we will give you the up-to-date news as soon as it comes out. Over the course of the summer, we and everyone else at Talking Reds have got big plans for the channel. We're doing much more than just news and things like that and talking about things. We've got some big plans for the channel and making it much better content for you guys. The bigger we grow as Talking Reds, the better the content will be. I can absolutely assure you guys that. Thank you, everyone, for watching tonight. Thank you.